Let's go. Let's go. Boom. Where we want to start with? Did I want something from this video? Let me see. I think I wanted something from this. We getting straight into it today. I ain't gonna lie. Boom. I use
this is what you're.
So boom. This is the UV index. If anybody knows the UV index, that's the They want people to have protection. Basically, this indicates how much time that you can be in the sun before you start to burn. And a 0.2 is an hour plus. How are you burning from a 0.2? That's light. That's just my question. But anything a point above a 3.5 starts to give other races the highest form of skin cancer known as melanoma. So that's just a 3.5. You see, that's 40 minutes. That's just 3.5. Lately, in the summer, see, I've been watching this for a long time, especially here where I live. We've went from, this is summer, I started looking at it around 2021. So we went from a 8, 9 to now we're getting 11, 11s and 12s just last summer in 2024. So this is going to keep increasing. This is going to keep increasing. It's going to keep getting worse year by year. We're in a solar cycle right now. The sun is going to keep getting hotter, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Let me let him talk real quick.
Your fucking sky look like these colors right here. Your radiation's colors. Sometimes the motherfucker is jet red. Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all. The fucking sky sometimes be blood red. The reason why you don't see this shit fully is because of if they broke the whole mirror down at one time, it will everybody will stop. No, the tests have to play itself out. We have to play fair to the game, to the test. We have to be fair to it. Let me run it on down here. Hold on. Let me get on over here. Hold on.
Let me see if I need anything else from this video. These individuals right here, individuals that look like this, created these motherfuckers right here, the complex cell organism. You're a white man, you're Asian man, and you're Arab man. And anything that branched off of rape, you're directly connected to this right here. These are what you would call the complex cell organism. These people have monkey, fruit fly, canine, yeast, plant, and some more shit. Let's just say that. And some more shit in their goddamn genomes and their genetics. This is what makes up them. Different animals that can't sexually reproduce with one another are inside of their genetic makeup. How did that happen? These individuals down here created them. But let's move on. See, do I need this? Oh, boom.
1 second and just ask yourself, what is inspiring me right now? What? And you might say, Pharaoh, why is that important? Because you're inspired by what you're attracted to.
Boom. So with this right here, with the science of inspiration, we should be helping our brothers and sisters. We should be inspiring our brothers and sisters to speak nothing but truth. We should inspire them to look inside of themselves and find themselves. Because we have been being lied to for far too long. We need to inspire our brothers and sisters by sharing this type of information so that we can reach one another, so that they can actually see the light within themselves, and then so forth and so on. They can go do it to the next, and then we just start a chain reaction of us just waking up our brothers and sisters. But let me let him talk for a little minute.
Attract means to what? It means to exert force towards another object or source that has greater mass than you, or that you believe in your mind has a big enough mass to interest you. Interest. So pause it for 1 second and just ask yourself, what is inspiring me right now? What? And you might say, Pharaoh, why is that important?
No, use that no more. So, if you know anything about the Fibonacci sequence, everything spirals in the number 9. We are the people of the 9. We are 9 ether beings. 9 is the highest number for a reason. This is what we are. This is where they got the number 9 from, because everything spirals in a number 9. Even us. Look at that. That's the universe. Boom, boom. That's the same shit. You can't tell me it. You can't tell me otherwise. That's the same shit. Let's move forward. All right, boom.
The new draft report on UFOs. The Pentagon's expert warning about a possible mothership coming close to Earth.
A mothership? So my question is, who's in that mothership? Who's in that mothership and why are they coming to Earth? I told y'all that this shit is shutting down. This shit is over with. The system's crumbled. It's done for. They're done for.
Stay with us.
Largely classified. And the reason that's important is that the American people have no idea, really no idea, about the immensity of the threat in space. And I've made
60 seconds, the new draft.
Apparently it's a threat in space. It's only a threat to their people. Let me go ahead and make that clear. It's only a threat to the complex cell organism because it does not belong on the planet. Simple as that. Let's move forward. So boom, this is what you would call the Schumann resonance. When this energy boom is spiking like this, we're getting hit with high levels of high level energy right here. We're getting hit with high level energy. And if you study the Schumann resonance, this has a part to play on human biology. Or so they say. So this is directly affecting us. You ever wake up at night or you wake up in the morning, you got hella energy for no reason? You ain't do nothing extra. You just got all this damn energy. You wake up dancing. Yeah, this is because we're getting hit with high amounts of energy. High level energy right here. Let's move forward. So boom. We only use around like 5% of our DNA. We're not using this whole thing right here. This is dormant within us. We have this. This is in us right now. But we're only using this small section right here. So if we're using this small section right here and we are dominating in everything physical amongst every other race, what is gonna happen once we use all this shit right here? That's my question. So if we're only using this, and these niggas, you got niggas thinking we super because we can dunk a basketball. Nigga, what happens if we use this whole shit right here? I don't know. That's just something y'all need to think about. But let me move on. Okay, boom.
So you told somebody younger than you about a spiritual system that you just said you don't know. And that's my issue. Why do we keep passing down shit?
You know what? Let me tell you something. You know what I tell the young kids? I tell them Yahweh was the most powerful engineer in the world.
How you know? You just say you don't know.
Ingenuity.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
That's where I start at.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
Okay.
You don't know that.
So man created his own world.
You don't know that.
So man created his own world.
You don't know that. Woman was here before man. I know that. That's what I do know.
What does that mean? We needed water to exist, so it had to be here.
I said woman, not water. Woman. Your mama was here before your father.
Maybe she was.
No, ain't no maybe. That's a fact.
Maybe she was.
That no, ain't no maybe. I don't do maybes, probablys, I don't knows, and if ands and maybe.
Maybe we're going to the book of Genesis, but
no, nigga. X chromosome was
Yahweh created man and woman. Then he specifically talks about a story of a man called Adam and then Eve.
Why you still listen? Woman was here before man. There's no way no woman.
Yeah.
There's no way no man was. I don't give a fuck what Yahweh, whoever said what. Woman was here first. So my thing is, let's just agree to stop saying anything about religion to younger children. I don't give a fuck what race they are. Let's stop passing religion. Let's stop passing religion down to these babies until we know. You said what makes?
Makes you think a woman was here first? I think we're going off the power go down that path.
Okay, no. Because listen, the phone line's jumping. Listen, the phone line's jumping. I'm gonna take one more caller, but I will answer that question because I actually honestly wanted to answer that question. You said what makes me think women were here first. I'm going to reiterate that question and say what makes me know that women were here first is genetics. Okay, XY chromosome, which is me and you, is 2.8% of an XX chromosome minus its own mass. A XX chromosome, which is a woman's chromosome, in science is deemed a metacentric chromosome. A XY chromosome, which is us males, are called sub-metacentric. A XY chromosome is a sub-metacentric extension of a metacentric chromosome. Sub meaning substitute. So you cannot have a man. You cannot have a man unless you take a woman's chromosome and you genetically subtract 2.8% of his own mass.
Complete facts. When you look at this, you look at the XX, and then you look at the XY. The XY is just missing that little leg right here. That's the only reason they call it a Y, is because it's missing that specific information right there, because we're just a mutation of the fucking woman. Right? The woman, she's whole. She got the XX. She whole. She can create either or. The man is a XY. He's missing that information down here. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, we are 2.8 less than the woman.
And so that being said, I'm not done. Because I want to answer the question. Also, when women are pregnant with children, no matter what they're pregnant with, for the first 4 to 6 weeks, it's always a female. It doesn't become a male until that Y chromosome kicks in. And so also you have the skin tissue of your mother. So even though you're an XY chromosome, technically your flesh is that which is of your mother. So everybody in a black human race, okay, or other races, no matter what your genetic code may be, whether it be human based or Neanderthal based, you are a different form of the feminine deity of your species, which is your woman. So a white man is that white woman minus 2.8% of her own genetic mass. A black man is that black woman minus 2.8% of her own genetic mass. That's why I know women were here first, not think.
And then ask yourself this, my people. So-called black men, okay, look at it like this. We have nipples that cannot produce milk. If you look at our scrotum sac, that's just when you look at our phallus is just a inverted clitoris. So it's just poking out. Our scrotum sac is the ovaries. So this is how we know. We are just 2.8 less than the woman. We have shit in our body that we cannot use, but the black woman can use it because she is whole, nigga. It's simple as that. Let me move on. Okay, boom. We finna get into health.
It's too many complex sugars. You got sucrose you're dealing with. You got maltose you're dealing with. You got
Shout out to Yaki.
dextrose you're dealing with. The body only need fructose and glucose. So it's gonna have to break all of these sugars down just to use it again. So now it's gonna start raising the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Not only that, it's gonna start raising the blood sugar. It's gonna start raising the glycogen, which is gonna raise the insulin to bring it down. Now your pancreas get thrown off whack. So now your pancreas, which is the major digestive organ of your body, which helps break down your foods because it produces more than 4,000 different metabolic enzymic reactions. It produces enzymes that help break down your food that ain't working properly. So now this stuff literally just rots and ferment inside of your belly. Now y'all know.
Boom, you cannot break down these artificial foods. Your vessel was not created for that. Why do you think you niggas are getting fat? And I'm not being an asshole when I say that. I'm just being honest. Why do you think you niggas are getting fat? Because you're eating against your genetic makeup, nigga. You're not supposed to be eating donuts, nigga. You're not supposed to be eating pizza. You're not supposed to be eating steak, nigga. You cannot break that shit down.
Whenever sugars fermentate, it creates alcohol. Your body's supposed to produce a water drop of alcohol every hour. When you eating food like this, it produces 6 to 10 drops of alcohol an hour, and you wonder why your liver is fat, or your cholesterol is high, or you have cirrhosis of the liver, and you never been an alcoholic, or you never had a drink in your life, because you addicted to the alcohol that your body is making from the chemistry. You do not want your body producing too many alcohols and fermentations, because now you're gonna have toenail fungus, your colon wall is gonna be prolapsed, and you're gonna have farting problems. You're gonna be funkerizing the whole entire universe, walking around just farting and pooting and shitting on yourself because you done combined your foods improperly. And they're producing certain fumes, and these fumes are gases, and these gases by biometric pressure have to leave the body, otherwise it will taint and pollute your blood. That's where you get farting from. You have to fart, because if you don't fart, then you're going to pollute the blood. These are gases that's not supposed to be in the blood. These are certain different things that are on the periodic table that if improperly get mixed together in the wrong ways, these gases can become toxins. Just like you turning on your car and you leaving your garage shut while you sitting in your car while your car running. You ain't gonna live to tell about that day unless somebody come open up that garage door to get that carbon dioxide gas up out of that garage. You will die in your car. Same thing when it comes to your body producing certain carbon dioxide gases when your food is breaking down. That's why the body farts. So if you have farting problems, then that means you have a digestion problem, and you need to look into the pancreas. See that? So the body is gonna choose to break down the most simplest thing you gave it. So you done ate a hamburger, potatoes, which is mixed with starch and water, and oil and water, which don't mix anyway. Then you done put a tomato, which is a fruit, on top of it. Then you done put lettuce on top of it, and then you done put cheese on top of that. So the body is gonna choose the simplest things to break down. So guess what the body is gonna try to break down first? The tomato that you have on your burger, or the lettuce that you have on your burger. This ferments, and then while it's fermenting, it sits on top of the meat, and it sits on top of the dairy products, and on top of the grains, and then everything else becomes mold. Have y'all ever seen an apple? When one apple go bad, it spreads, and all the other apples have mold and fungi on them. Same thing that's happening inside your stomach. This literally is what breeds parasites and what makes an acidic environment for your body. So now your body has to spend most of its energy when you were supposed to be living your purpose out through the day. Your body tired as hell because you done messed it up, and it's like, how in the hell I'm finna break down all this food? So it says, let me use all the energy resources that I have from my adenosine triphosphate. Let me get 150 trillion of my energy centers to try to break this food down. So now you tired as hell throughout the day. Now you got brain fog and you can't think straight.
So boom, if y'all want to go watch the rest of that video, go to his Instagram. It's Yaki Awaken. Super informative when it comes to what so-called black people should be putting inside of their vessel. But I'm finna move on though. Stop eating the bullshit food. You're not created to eat meat, cheese. You're not supposed to be eating bread. You're not made to eat none of that bullshit, all right? Eat holistic foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, things of that nature. Stop eating bullshit. Simple as that. Boom. How do we know that these motherfuckers have monkey DNA? Let's go.
I'm really not with the bullshit. Nigga, look. They look like brothers. Look. Show me a nigga that can get this hairy. Right now, as you talking to me, type in on Google. On Google, hairiest black person. On my soul, we can't even get this hairy. On my soul. On my soul. Type this shit in. Now, the reason why, look. Talking about we some monkeys. Talking about we 3/5 of a human. Bitch, who 3/5 of a human? Notice how they said we was 3/5 of a human. Notice how they called us Porsche money. Nigga, my lips don't look like that.
Remember, genetics creates phenotype, and phenotype creates how you look on the outside. So come on, let's stop the bullshit. These niggas have animal DNA. These niggas are born with tails. Let's quit the bullshit, all right? Honestly, let's quit the fucking bullshit. These niggas are animals. And they're mixed with multiple animals, let's be honest. Let's move on. Let me see. Shout out to this sister right here. Shout out Skywalker. Let's go.
If your psychological state is connected to your genetics, then you gotta ask yourself, what was the real reason they actually had us in cages? What was the real reason?
Remember, you was just in zoos in 1948 or 1958, one of those two. You were just in zoos, so-called black people. You were in zoos. Do you understand that? These niggas just had you in zoos. Now they want to lay down all of a sudden and procreate with you. Stop the bullshit, bro.
Behind Rodney King. And what was the reason for why the sister had to go and retrieve Sarah Bartman's body? So here's one of the reasons why I don't waste my time coming to TikTok talking about racism and cultural appropriation and if she can wear box braids, if she can't, because your psychological state is what's connected to your genetics. When you start to break them down on a cellular level and you start to understand why they do the things that they do, there is no discussion about racism. There is no discussion about systematic oppression, because now we're talking about cellular oppression. So let's talk about the eukaryotic organism, or the eukaryotic cell, because it's your cells that make up an entire organism, right? So when we're talking about a complex cell organism, we're talking about multiple different animal DNA that those animals can't naturally reproduce with themselves. So how did so-called humans, right? Because when we're talking about humans, we're talking about one haplogroup. Everybody is not considered human, and that is the reason why the CIA has us listed as black extraterrestrials. Understand that. They know that we're not humans because we are prokaryotic organisms. We are single-cell organisms, which means it's referring to the function of our cells. With them having animal DNA, eukaryotic plants like celery or cruciferous vegetables cannot naturally reproduce with a fruit fly or a mouse, a chimpanzee, and yeast. These things, and these are not it. Cows, pigs, chicken, all that shit.
Right, so they have multiple different animals inside of their genomes. How the fuck did this happen? So-called black people, this is not us. We don't have this inside of our DNA. We don't have this shit. So how the fuck did these niggas pop up 7,000 years ago and all of a sudden they have all this shit inside of their DNA, but they're preaching that we're all the same. They're preaching that, everybody should love each other. We're all the same. We're all created from God. No, nigga, we aren't. We're not the fucking same, bro. Let's stop the bullshit.
That y'all like to eat, that's what's in their genome. So this is the real reason why they feed it to you, because your psychological state is what's connected to your genetics. They know how to mess with us on a cellular level. They know how to mess with our psyche, because as eukaryotic organisms, they are pheomelanated. This is why when y'all say that they are non-melanated, they have a lot of melanin.
I got a video explaining pheomelanin. A brother's finna break it down. Pheomelanin versus neuromelanin. They are pheomelanin. That is animal-based melanin. We don't have this shit. We have this right here, neuromelanin. This is what we have.
It is just pheomelanin. As prokaryotic organisms, we are neuromelanated. So when we look at the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, there is no nucleus. We have no nucleus because it is the neuromelanin. This is the only molecule that is condensed sunlight and can condense UV light.
And if we know anything about light, light carries information. Sunlight carries information, okay? So with neuromelanin, it programs our cells. This is we get our information from so-called light, from neuromelanin. We get our information from light.
This is why we say sunblood. This is why we say we are the sun in the flesh. This is why the soul doesn't have a U in it. So all these Solani people out here subscribing to all these titles and shit, there is no U in the word soul. S-O-L is sun, solar.
Yes, S-O-L equals sun. If you look at the etymology of S-O-L, it's going to say it means the sun. So if you do not have neuromelanin, then you do not have a soul, aka or a sun, soul sun. You don't have that shit. So there are 5.6 to 5.8 billion motherfuckers walking around with no goddamn soul or sun in them. Come on.
Because we are neuromelanated beings. A eukaryotic cell is a complex cell organism. Let me show you what a prokaryotic cell looks like. This is a prokaryotic cell. This is a lot simpler than a eukaryotic cell. This right here, this is called the nucleotoid. The nucleoid. Y'all see this? This is where neuromelanin sits. So again, if your psyche is connected to your genome, and here's a colorized photo, right? They put it in color for niggas.
1955, bro. Nigga, they had you in zoos. They're looking at you as if you... First of all, they're looking at you like you're different. Guess what? You are different. These people don't know what the fuck you are. They wouldn't have to do this if we were all truthfully the same. Do you understand what I mean? These motherfuckers don't know what you are. This is why they had to study you. They knew that you were different from them. They had to study you and figure out what the fuck you are and where the fuck you came from. And guess what? It's time for us to do the same. Where the fuck did these niggas come from? We're starting to understand their genetics now. We're starting to understand that these niggas are put together organisms and they're spliced. Splicing is not a natural phenomenon. That shit doesn't just fucking happen. Somebody deliberately did that shit.
This is the real reason why they do, because look, there are multiple different animals speaking for them through one nucleus. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how all that genetic material got into their DNA. Stay tuned.
So I appreciate that video. Again, shout out Skywatcher. If y'all want to go subscribe to her, or just a Skywatcher, yeah, look up this video right here. Y'all go subscribe to her for sure. Let's move on. Boom. Right here. Pheomelanin versus neuromelanin. I'm going to let this whole thing play.
Look at the chemical stages or reactions. We have this stage here called cysteine. All right. I study a little bit deeper the cysteine, and I was really I don't know what word to put, but I was disturbed to see that a lot of the things, beverage and food and medicine that we, the black community consume contains cysteine. And knowing the effect of sulfur with cysteine, I was like, oh, damn, no. So, and one of the etymology of pheo actually means clipping, to clip something off of what? Off of melanin. So pheomelanin is the clipping of that, right? I just wanted to add this detail of the etymology of one of it. Pheo has multiple etymology. That's what I saw. But one of them was the clipping of something. The clipping of what? In this context, pheomelanin will be the clipping of melanin, basically. And the clipping is right there, right? The insertion of sulfur, right there. So that's what I wanted to add. And I have more I wanted to add on the pineal gland and how the pineal gland is in harmony with the sun, and also the SPF, the physical sunscreen, works by bouncing off UVA and UVB rays, thereby stopping them from being absorbed.
Notice how it doesn't say UVC radiation. If anybody who looks at the UV index and understands anything about ultraviolet light, UVC radiation is now ground level. They have no protection from UVC radiation. Yeah, they might have created sunscreen to, reflect UVA and UVB rays, but what about UVC that is now ground level? This is the strongest form of ultraviolet light that we get from the sun, and it is supposed to be blocked from our the ozone layer is supposed to be blocking that shit. But guess what? The ozone layer is being removed. That's why this shit is becoming ground level now. They're not going to have no protection from UVC radiation. Notice how it's not affecting so-called black people who are holistic and eating correctly. We're not having complications with the sun. But in the next years, shit, I say this year, I say this summer, you're going to start to see complex cell organisms having a extremely difficult time when it comes to the sun, because like I stated, the sun is getting hotter and hotter, and UVC radiation is penetrating them now.
By the skin. So basically, you put a layer, a coating on your skin, and the sister showed the X-ray of what it looks like. It is a coating, and that coating is responsible for bouncing off the UVA and UVB. So we, as black people, we don't need the SPF. We don't need it, because what happened is, once when you don't have a solar penetration, what happened here? Without solar penetration, it looked like this: no activity, no life, because the black skin need the sun. We feed on the sun, we eat the sun feed us, and the sun protects, provides genomic stability, right? So once you put that layer of SPF being black, what happened is you are shutting down and you are committing internally something, right? I don't want to use the word, but you see what I mean. By using the SPF, you are committing, inflicted damage, right? So basically, the black person would tend to look lighter, a lighter and lighter complexion, but that lighter complexion comes from the fact that there's no solar penetration. When there's no solar penetration, then the person is exposed to a multiple range of skin disorder, and not just skin disorder, but many other problems associated, all the way to the soul, to the spirit, your connection with the cosmos. The cosmic waves are not being absorbed, because we feed also on the cosmic waves. Just like Desmond mentioned, we absorb, right, all UV light spectrum, right, even sound, music, cosmic wave, and everything all around. So the melanin has a capability to absorb those. With the SPF, it's like committing a self-inflicted bullet, in the head. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is the pineal gland, and how the pineal gland is in harmony. I think it's 981. I'm trying to find us I think we're almost there. It should be here, 981. So the pineal gland is synchronized with the sun. There's what we call the circadian system, the circadian rhythm, right? So it is the ability of the brain to synchronize with the rising and the falling of the sun. So when the light when the eye detects the sunlight, it sends a signal to the thalamus. The thalamus will then order the pineal gland to secrete serotonin in the presence of light, and melatonin when the sun go down, right? So I'm trying to find the slide. So I like showing the depiction on the screen. Oh, I think hold on, I got it. It's gonna be darkness. Okay, it's gonna be here. Or is it? I'm trying to get to the slide number. It's gonna be. Hold on. I don't want to show all this stuff here. Darkness. So melatonin is the hormone of darkness. So when the sun go down, the pineal gland.
So if y'all want to watch this, like I said, big shout out to Skywatcher. I appreciate abundance and gratitude to that sister. Abundance and gratitude to Polo Tolo. Oh shit, appreciation for sure. Appreciation. If y'all want to go watch the full 12-minute video, go to Genetic Differences, Pheomelanin versus Neuromelanin. Subscribe to her and watch her videos. Let's move on. Boom. Let's get here. Boom.
Melanin is a versatile molecule. Not only is it responsible for giving us our UV blocking complexion,
it doesn't block UV light when it comes to so-called black people. Understand the truth and the lies in here. But we eat the sun. We absorb that.
At the cellular level, it gobbles up harmful radicals that lead to diseases such as cancer and Parkinson's. But that's only the beginning. Over the past decades, researchers have focused on what might be melanin's most promising talent yet discovered, the ability to conduct electricity. That's important, because if we fancy a future where environmentally benign electronics help us fight disease, monitor our health, and store energy, we're going to need bio-friendly materials.
I'm gonna play that. I want y'all to actually listen to what the fuck he just said. Let me just play it back real quick. Listen to what he just said.
Help us fight disease, monitor our health, and store energy, we're going to need bio-friendly materials.
Where the fuck are you gonna get neuromelanin from besides so-called black people? They're saying they're gonna need this shit, right? Where the fuck are you getting it from? Then you understand that 8 million children go missing worldwide, 1 million of them in so-called America. So...
And what better material for the job than one made right in-house?
These motherfuckers are coming out and saying that they need... We're not willingly giving up our neuromelanin, right? We're not willingly giving that shit up. So how the fuck are they getting it?
This is melanin in its most common form. When it comes to electrical charge, melanin acts as a sort of bank, always ready to lend out or take electrons depending on the environment. Chained together, as they naturally tend to do, melanin molecules can shuffle electrons and surrounding ions end to end. The result is an all-natural electrode material. In terms of performance, it's not on par with the electronic materials we find in our phones and laptops. But because melanin is 100% compatible with our body's makeup, it's a much safer starting material for building electronic devices, both for us and the environment.
Again, where the fuck are you going to get neuromelanin from?
Researchers have shown that melanin can act as a switch when sandwiched between metal electrodes, turning on and off under different applied voltages. It seems like a simple trick, but that switching behavior is critical to the operation of any computing device. Polydopamine, a synthetic melanin analog, has been used to extract harmful metal ions from water, and polydopamine-coated nanoparticles have been shown to boost the sensitivity of tests designed to seek out diseases like HIV, Zika, and cancer. Researchers are still learning how melanin behaves when surrounded by the machinery that makes useful electronics work. But continued efforts from chemists, physicists, and materials scientists are likely to result in exciting new applications for this highly versatile molecule.
Yeah, protect your children. Watch your children. Get your children out of their schools. This should be concerning to so-called black people. They're saying that they needed it. They said this back in 2017. These motherfuckers said that, or when did they say this? They said this 6 years ago. So they're saying that they need melanin to advance technology. Who else are they gonna get it from besides us? That's a wake up call. I'd be concerned. The Balak died. Which one we want to go to first? Let's go. Boom.
Again, was the name of the Eye of Peru. We find that in the pyramid text and coffin text, over 100 references to the Eye of Peru. It says that the Eye of Peru is present in the forehead, and it rises up as thy father Ra, the sun, passes overhead. Meaning what? Something in the forehead is turned on by the sun.
The pineal gland, which the pineal gland, neuromelanin is present within the pineal gland. So hell yeah, the sun is turning on our pineal gland. Hell yeah, it is.
That was 3,333 years before Axelrod and Workman rediscovered the pineal gland was an active gland, producing a unique enzyme called HIOMT. But notice further, It said that the pineal, that there were blue eyes, green eyes, and red eyes, and black eyes of Heru. And that it was possible to rise, and that the mission was to rise up with your eye of Heru to the heavens and to become a star. Not a Hollywood star on Hollywood Boulevard. That's not the star they're talking about. But a star in terms of the cosmos.
Again, if stars are just miniature suns. Melanin is condensed sunlight. Yes, we are stars. We are suns. We are the universe. We're all of that. But if y'all want to go watch this video, look up Melanin the Black Dot by Dr. Richard D. King. Also, grab some of his books. His books are great. He has a lot of informational books. Boom.
Going to different places of the world. This is where you get Native Americans from. This is where you get the first people in the Caribbeans and all that. Because Native Americans, the original Native Americans, were black. They look like me.
We were on all land masses. We're not just native to Africa. We're not just native to the Americas. We're not just native to Australia. We're not just native to in Asia. We're not just native to those. We're native to everywhere that the sun touched.
And niggas up the street, okay? So when they talk about the Trail of Tears in motherfucking history class, and when they talk about white people coming from Europe and killing all the Native Americans, nigga, you better feel that shit, because they talking about us. Okay, so now we're going to start about less than 6,000 years ago, okay? Because this is when every other race came into play, okay? And mind you, less than 6,000 years ago, this is when every religion came into play. That's why people be like, what was black people's original religion? The answer is, we have no motherfucking religion because we predate.
Boom. We predate all religions. Why the fuck? How all of a sudden we Christians, we fucking, we practicing Islam, we fucking, what else? Whatever else, fucking Jehovah Witness, whatever the fuck we up into nowadays. How the fuck are we that? But we predate religions. That don't even make any fucking sense. I mean, if you ask me, how in the fuck am I a Christian when I was here way before Christianity? How does that even work?
Every goddamn religion, okay? Christianity and all that other bullshit was just made not even 6,000 years ago, less than that. We predate all that shit, nigga. So boom, about 6,000 years ago, the Anunnaki people left Earth once again. Now I told you they come back every 3,600 years. Now about 6,000 years ago, they left Earth again. But see, when they left Earth this time, they fucked up. You want to know why they fucked up? Because when they left Earth's electromagnetic spectrum, right? Because you know how the Earth got a force field, like an actual electromagnetic wave signal and all that. When they left Earth, they accidentally sent out an electromagnetic signal across the universe, okay? They sent out an electromagnetic signal across the universe. And these beings in the Draco constellation heard this motherfucking signal. Now, if you don't know who stays in the Draco constellation, reptilians, the motherfuckers that run the world right now, stay in the Draco constellation. This is why people call reptilians Dracos, because they live in the Draco constellation. So these motherfuckers heard this electromagnetic signal, and they heard it coming from Earth. And these niggas was pretty much like, oh, well, shit, where did these niggas, what was going on at Earth? Okay, so boom. These niggas came all the way to Earth. You already know the story. I already told y'all this shit. They came all the way to Earth. They saw black people. Now, they couldn't actually fuck with black people. They couldn't fuck with black people, for one, because they didn't want problems with Anunnaki. And for two, they exist on the fourth dimension. So they couldn't actually, like, for instance, you're not going to actually see a motherfucking reptilian unless this nigga, like, shapeshift or some shit. You ain't going to see it in its true form unless you want to astroplane or some shit. Okay? So now, this is when all other races come into play. So the reptilians couldn't actually fuck with black people directly. So they had to make a group of people they pretty much had to make a group of people to manipulate us and take us over. This is where all of the races come into play. So now, do you want to know how they did this shit? I'm going to tell you how they made all of the races. They took an albino African. And if you don't believe me,
Now, with this, I don't believe that they took an albino African. I don't believe that whatsoever. Because, for one, two albinos can create a pigmented child, which means that neuromelanin has to be present within those albino people. It might not express itself through the skin, but as far as the cells being pigmented and actually coating the cells with neuromelanin, I believe that it's still present. I don't believe that you can splice a so-called albino black person.
I showed y'all, bro, I showed y'all a video of this dude. He literally said how he was genetically modified. He got his DNA spliced. I'm gonna pull it up later after I finish explaining this. They took an albino African because, like I said, they use light to splice and dice DNA. All splicing and dicing DNA is pretty much like breaking down a Rello. For all my niggas that smoke, you know when you break down a Rello, right? And you gotta get the guts out, and then you mix the, you put like perp inside the shit. You know what I'm saying? You mix the weed together and all that. You put two different strands of weed in the weed. Two different strands of weed in the Rello. This is what the reptilians, they took an albino African. An albino African is an African with melanin deficiency, okay? And melanin, I'm gonna explain melanin right after I finish this. Now, boom. They took an albino African, spliced his DNA, transfused it with monkeys. Okay? Transfused it with monkeys.
Boom, you can't give any so-called black people any type of animal DNA. That's not how it works. That's why I don't believe the whole albino thing. They just got different types of animals to perfect how the motherfuckers look today. Because if it's true, right? These niggas would have some type, the other races would have some type of DNA from us, which is not true. They don't. So I don't believe the whole albino theory at all.
DNA. And then made the Dravidians. Now, if you don't know what a Dravidian is them niggas that you see in India. You know, the niggas that you see in India, they got dark skin. And they be having a red dot on their head. Made all them. Made the Indians. The motherfuckers, not the native Indians. Made the Indians that reside in India. The motherfuckers that got the caste system and shit. This is where you get them. So after them, that's when they took an albino Dravidian. Okay, so let me stay on track. They took an albino African and made a Dravidian. Then, and mind, this shit didn't happen overnight. This shit is like 100-year period type shit. Then they took...
Boom, if you want to go watch this video, All Genetic Origins and Anunnaki People by Von Two Cut. Shout out Von Two Cut. If y'all want to go watch the rest of this video, it's 48 minutes. Go ahead, rock out. But this is basically explaining how so-called other races, the white, Asian, and Arab man, this is how they came into existence. An extraterrestrial, who they call Pindar, Moloch, Enki, Enlil, Yahweh, Allah, whatever the fuck you want to call that nigga. He created all other races because he couldn't fuck with us directly. You see what I'm saying? He couldn't do, he had to create something to do its bidding for him. Because he understands how universal law works and he understands how fucking karma works. He basically tried to cheat code the system. But guess what? It's falling back onto him now. That nigga's backed up against the wall now. Let's move on. Boom. This happened 1 year ago in 2023. This story right here. Listen up.
Eyes in a suit, supposedly wearing a suit that is bulletproof. Your bullets will not work. I told y'all this before, regardless if you want to hear it or not. Your bullets are, first of all, your bullets are very primitive. People don't realize this. And you really don't. I don't know why people haven't realized black people really don't so-called die. And bullets are very...
Exactly. You're made from energy. You're literally energy. How the fuck energy cannot die? Or let's say energy cannot be destroyed nor created. Therefore, we don't have a creation story. Nor can we ever be destroyed. Because we are the soul, aka the sun. We are energy. We just keep recycling. This is when my last video I told y'all niggas that yes, technically we have more deaths than motherfuckers over here in America. So-called black people have more deaths. But we're birthing faster than that. We're having, like I said, everybody has that one motherfucker in their family that has like 7, 8 kids by his motherfucking self or by her motherfucking self. You feel what I'm saying? Why is that? Because we are energy. We just keep recycling. We don't truly die. Just because you lose the vessel doesn't mean that you're dead, because you're not the vessel. You are the soul, my nigga.
Primitive. And the only reason why they work, because of the dimension and how dense we are truly are. Other than that, they would not work. So just so you know, going in the future, they're not working. Just to give you a heads up, they're not working. So enjoy your bang bang shoot 'em up while you can. Good luck.
For the past 24 hours, Peru has been trending on social media. And this is because residents in Peru are allegedly encountering 7-foot-tall entities. In a rural area called Alto Nanay, located in the northeastern part of Lima, Peru, residents who've lived in the area for several decades claim to be experiencing constant encounters with 7-foot-tall entities. These mysterious beings are said to have armored bodies and distinct features such as large heads and yellow eyes. The villagers report that these creatures have been consistently attacking their community during the night since July 11th. The community is currently experiencing a state of fear and unease, primarily caused by a distressing incident involving a woman. According to reports, she was approached from behind and suffered a laceration to her neck after resisting the attacker. This unsettling event has left community members apprehensive, making it difficult for them to find solace and rest peacefully as they constantly feel threatened. Oddly enough, footage was released of the incident, and those who saw it said they could make out a humanoid-like entity, while others noted that the creature appeared to be more bug-like.
Oh my gosh, they would give me a commercial, right? I've been playing this video and I rewinded it so and
The Iquitu indigenous people have made accusations regarding advanced beings who they claim are impervious to their traditional hunting tools.
So boom, these beings that these motherfuckers saw were the same exact beings that everybody wanted to cover up in Miami. You remember the whole Miami alien bullshit? Fucking hundreds of fucking cop cars went down there to that mall because they tried to say motherfuckers were fighting with sticks and shit up in there. No, these beings showed up. Anybody that was in the mall, they said they seen tall, dark beings. Like, this shit is in America now. This is coming to y'all. You see it? You hear how terrified these motherfuckers are? This is coming to America. Simple as that.
These individuals are calling for assistance from the Peruvian military to ensure their safety against these interstellar trespassers. According to their accounts, the creatures don protective suits and possess an extraordinary ability.
And another thing, with all this alien talk, why the fuck has nobody talked about this? How come they're just now saying that, oh, like I just showed not too long ago, the mothership is heading over towards fucking Earth? Okay, so these motherfuckers want to say that there's aliens, there's UFOs, there's motherships surrounding Earth. They're coming to Earth. But when shit like this pops up, how come that their military is not going to try to deal with this shit? How come nobody's talking? Why is this being swept under the fucking rug? I'm genuinely curious. Everybody, see, Miami, that shit was trending for a little while, and now it's like that shit never happened. Why are niggas trying so hard to keep that hidden? How come nobody in the whole Miami situation, how come nobody else spoke out after it happened? But especially now that they're saying that, oh, we've encountered UFOs, we've encountered extraterrestrials. How come nobody else is speaking out? Are they trying to keep this under wraps? Are they doing this shit on purpose? Like, you have to ask yourself that shit.
Ability to float, using spherical footwear illuminated by a red light. According to community leader Jairo Riategui Avila, he described the individuals as beings from another planet. They seemed to be wearing armor. Jairo even attempted to fire at one of them twice, but they remained unharmed and eventually vanished. This extraordinary occurrence has caused great fear and concern within the community. Locals who live in the area have been told to take protective measures against the entities, while military officials have said that they are investigating the incident. The advanced beings have been compared to pelikaras by certain villagers, who perceive them as peculiar creatures that supposedly consume locals. The authorities have conducted a visit to the vicinity and explored the outskirts of the village, which includes the site where the woman was attacked. Nonetheless, it remains uncertain whether any substantiating evidence was discovered to validate the assertions made by the villagers, or whether the government intends to dispatch military personnel to the area for an extended duration. Interestingly, Peru has a rich history of mysterious sightings and encounters.
Now, first of all, the reason I'm gonna tell y'all Peru, you can look it up. It's right over there in Brazil, near Brazil. You can look at all the royal era over there. You can see for yourself that Peru it has ancient historic facts over there. But I want y'all to understand something, right? Everything that I've been telling y'all for quite some time, I'm not telling you this for my personal benefit, because let me explain something to you. This is a worldly, universal thing that's taking place on the planet. Whether other people want to hear this or not, Black people have been walking around in fear of being murdered every time. More importantly, a Black man. So Black boys, Black young men, and Black older men have been in fear for far too long about going outside. You understand? Rather encountering a police officer, rather coming to a neighbor house that is so-called white and she shoot through the door. No matter what, we have been in fear far too long. And I want y'all to all to understand one thing. Every race is going to be in fear. I'm gonna tell you this.
And they're in fear now. You look at them, just like that video I just showed over here on Instagram. That he's scared. He what did he call the mothership? A fucking threat. They are afraid right now. And you might not understand that because you're not paying attention, but if you look at your government, these niggas are scared. They're scared of what the fuck is coming from the sky. It's simple as that. They're afraid. So boom. This goes back to the Yaki video. Can diet affect your psychological state? There's growing evidence that diet and mental illness are closely linked. See, so-called Black people, we don't just wait. How come as a child you never had any thought, right? As a young child, you never had any thought of harming anybody else. You just wanted to live life. Now that you're 15, 16, 17, and so forth, now all of a sudden, you got ops. Now all of a sudden, you look at your brother as a threat. Now all of a sudden, you looking to kill something. And if you look at the diet of these motherfuckers, they're eating artificial sugars, they're eating meat, they're eating eggs, they're drinking milk, they're eating cheese, complex carbohydrates. And like Yaki said, that shit molds within your stomach. You're getting parasites. And then it's affecting your brain. You're not giving your brain the correct shit that it needs in order to grow and function properly. So now you're slowing down the development of your brain. And now all of a sudden, you want to go out and kill something. Stop eating the bullshit, bro. Just stop it. Stop eating that bullshit. It's simple as that. Stop eating the bullshit. All right, boom. So what makes up the sun? The sun is huge. The sun is a huge glowing sphere of hot gas. Most of the gas is hydrogen and helium, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, right? So boom, I want y'all to look. Hydrogen, helium, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. So boom, what makes up melanin? What atoms make up melanin? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, right? We are biologically the sun. We are the same as the motherfucking sun. There is no difference between so-called black people, aka neuromelanated people, and the sun. Neuromelanin is the soul, and as the sister said, SOL equals the sun. If you look at the etymology, it's the same exact shit. So boom. Boom, bacteria. If you know anything about prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, you understand that bacteria are prokaryotic cells. They can be both autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic means self-feeders. They feed themselves. Heterotrophic means that they need other things in order to feed itself. So right now, we believe we're heterotrophic. We eat the sun. We don't necessarily need to eat. We believe we need to eat. This is why we should be eating lighter. We should be fasting because we don't need to eat. That's bullshit. Once we get all the bullshit out of our body, once we're completely straight, we will go back to being autotrophic. We will not be eating anymore, my nigga. As simple as that. We will be self-feeders once again. So boom, prokaryotic cell versus, okay, boom. So prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are small and simple. We're not gonna see they are large and complex. That's why they're complex cell organisms. They got all these organelles that have to communicate with each other in order to carry out a function. Meaning, this is why so-called black babies we raise up. We're standing up faster than them. We're talking faster than them. We're crawling faster than them. We're walking faster than them. Is because our cells are programmed with neuromelanin. And as I stated, neuromelanin is condensed sunlight, and we get information through light. So we don't go through this complex. Oh, the motherfucking the nucleus got to get information from the motherfucking the Golgi apparatus and so forth and so on. We don't need to do that shit because our cells are already programmed. So boom, unicellular, meaning that we're not a multicellular organism. We only got one cell. We're single-celled organisms. This is what that means. Basically, when you see unicellular, that means single-celled organism. These niggas are multicellular organisms. So boom, the nucleus is absent. Like I said, the nucleus is basically the brain of the cell. We don't have that shit because neuromelanin, again, is information, and that is what programs our cells. We don't need a nucleus. We don't need a brain inside of our fucking... That's dumb. That don't make any sense. That's too complex. That don't make any sense. That's gonna slow us down. This is why we're physically... This is why we're academically... We're just more... I don't want to sound like an asshole, but we're better because we're natural. We don't have all these we don't have all this complex shit about us. We're a simple organism and we need simple things. Simple as that. So the DNA is circular, theirs is linear. So our DNA is circular. Like I said, go back to the Fibonacci sequence. Our shit spins in a 9. Their shit is linear. If you look at their hair is linear. That shit is falling down, my nigga. That shit's straight. Hey, our DNA ain't straight. Our hair ain't straight. Nigga, we different. Simple as that. We different. So we are haploids, meaning that we have a set of chromosomes. These niggas have they're diploids. They have paired chromosomes, meaning that, look at it like this. So they have 22 sets of, I believe it's alleles, and these are recessive. So their chromosomes keep repeating one after another. So they have a set of these, and this is because of all the different types of animals that are inside of their genetic makeup. So boom, it just keeps repeating with their chromosomes. So they have a set. So this is why they have 20, I believe it's 23 from the mom, 23 from the dad. With us, we only care about the sex chromosomes because that's not recessive. That's what makes up the sex of the organism or the child. That's what we have. We only have one set. These motherfuckers, these niggas have abundance of sets, and it don't even help because if they lose one of them, now they got Down syndrome. It don't make any sense. Like again, it goes back to the motherfucking animals that they share genetic information with. They have a whole bunch of set. Next video, I'm gonna go more deeper into the whole haploid versus diploids, so we can have a better understanding of it. But yeah, they have paired chromosomes. We have single chromosome. So again, we do not have organelles because again, neuromelanin programs our cells. They have to have that shit in order so they can carry out functionalities. Meaning, this is why our brain, our synapses are 10 times faster than theirs. Because they have to go through all these different processes in order. So, for an example, if I want to go pick up my phone, I just boom, do that shit quick. Their cells have to go through a process and communicate with the nucleus and blah, 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 all this other shit in order to carry out that specific function. We don't have to do that shit. Our shit is simple, so therefore it's faster. So boom, so we reproduce sexually and asexually. So with us, that we have cell division by binary fission. I'm gonna do deeper research. I'm not gonna speak too much on that. A brother I follow, I'm gonna get his TikTok. He has a TikTok video. I'm not sure if he has a YouTube or Instagram yet, but he has a TikTok video. Next video, I'm gonna show that he goes a little bit more into depth on binary fission. But I'm gonna do my own personal research on this as well. But like I said, we are examples are bacteria and archaea. We are bacteria. We are not human. Okay. These motherfuckers, see, these are plant animal cells and human. They share this is them. This is them. They are complex cells. We are simple single-celled organisms. So let me see if I got everything. Boom. So that's everything for this video. I want to say gratitude and abundance to everybody's video that I used. I appreciate all the information and to drive my point home. So I just want to say that. Appreciation to all you. The videos I showed, definitely go check out the rest of those videos and come up with your own conclusion. Definitely do your own research as far as when it comes to genetics. Definitely start studying genetics. Study biology. Study these things because it might not seem like it matters right now, but this shit matters. We have imposters amongst us, okay? So I'm gonna get a video to y'all tomorrow. And until next time.